Hi guys, welcome back to ProjectHaven, and today we're gonna do two simple tasks, although we don't know how long it will take. Probably not an hour or something. So we're gonna need a non-player object that is a client authoritative, and the reason for that is for the authoritative hit detection. So when the client does whatever to damage another player, it will send the commands to the server through this objects. Because at some point of this game, it's not guaranteed that a player object will exist and at any time instance of the game of the match. So it's very important to keep a really objective network view that the player has control of that can send commands even if the player object is dead, is destroyed for whatever reason. So that's why we're gonna do this first. We're gonna make an object and make a server assign the authority to the each client. So we're gonna do. And let's suppose this is the client. We're gonna pick a name first. So the client is not a good name, since this object will only exist in a match. And so let's call it client match for that reason. We won't need this objects in lobby scene or any other scene which the player object is guaranteed to exist. So we only need this during match where the player object could get destroyed at some point or get swapped out for some reason. But for the sake of creating prefab, we're gonna put it here for now. And then we're gonna have a network identity. That is local authority, player authority. I'm not sure. To begin with, maybe we shouldn't take this because um, it's not controlled by a player, not player objects, definitely. So we'll leave it as this, and we're gonna write a script that does just this. Client, uh, client authority. Sure, I'm recording. Okay. All right. As far as I look up on Google, the method to assign authority is the assign or spawn with. That could work too. Spawn with client authority, but you also need this thing. So let's try this first. Now we're spawn with authority. I was talking about assign authority, but mm, maybe actually just do the sign because we already have the script set up. Where's the sign? Okay. Now we're identity assign authority. Okay. So what this will do doesn't need a get component network identity. I need a Unity engine. So what this is, we'll need a connection to a player. And how do we find? Through Googling, I found this, but I don't think it ever happened. This will be available here. So connection to client. Since this is called on the server via the command, so automatically this will happen. Let's, for the sake of testing things, let's try that. Supposedly we have a command that happened on server and something. Does this automatically get recognized? Connection, yep. Connection to client. Another way to do this, we don't need the command because this happened on the server. Can we fetch the connection to clients over, I'm assuming, lobby, manager, players, slot, or singleton? Yeah. So for every single connection, we don't want to like do this over the lobby manager, and when the scene spawn and spawn a bunch of client authoritative stuff, because that means the lobby manager also have to clean them up after match ends, and that could mess up the implementation here. It will appear very unorganized, so I'm thinking writing an independent script that would do the jobs for us. Let's do this. The length. This is a network lobby. We could use a for each, actually. Network. Player. Lobby player. This is a lobby player? Yeah, it's a lobby player. In this thing. Oh. Lobby player. See if we can get the connection to the player via this thing. It looks like it gives us the option. But let's try that. So if it's a server, it will look up every connected players. Oh yeah, let's make sure the lobby player is not null. Okay. Oh, what am I doing here? This is a little bit logic issue. What I'm doing here is basically go through each one and every client, and that's not what we want to do. we want this particular object to be assigned. But since it doesn't know which client to assign to, that could be a problem. Let's do this instead. Looks like we have to make a server does the thing when the scene spawn. It will try to spawn a bunch of objects, a bunch of these. Yeah. All right. We'll do. Let's figure out who to spawn the objects. Just a couple of options. The first thing is lobby manager. Lobby manager, it will, once it goes through to the scene, go to each scene and then spawn. Looks like this can do it, but since what I'm worrying is the lobby manager doesn't have the is server. It doesn't know the logic of server and client. So this probably won't do. This script exists on along with the lobby manager. So this script doesn't know if it's server or it's a client. It doesn't know any of that. So even if I attach a script here saying spawn client objects when you're exchanging out of the lobby scene, which means you spawn you transition to a map scene. It won't know if the server should spawn it. Even on a client, it will try to spawn objects, so that's not good. Another options we have a what's it called? No, not this one. Match info. Another option we have is this. So this object exists between lobby and the actual maps. So it could have also it has a network identity, so it knows whether or not it's a server or not. So here we could do this, but in case of okay, let's try using what we have already. Level extension. Not this one. Well, what are we having here? Logic scene change, alright. Logic scene change. So what this will do is that it will spawn the transition from the lobby scene. So we transition into the map, which is from the lobby scene, and then we're gonna tell itself to spawn the client match. That's the name we'll call it. Let's call this. Where should we put this thing? Maybe here? Yeah. Before we forget, we make this now respawnable first. Okay. Back to the match info. And of course we have to write a script that does it. Public spawn client match client view. And if it's a server, we're going to make sure this is a server callback, although one thing we want to make sure, server callback, want to make sure that the method, because there's a thing, there's sometimes with the little, with this attributes, and if you go into editor, you need to make sure that it's called the right thing. Call spawn. It appears to be here, but I'm checking if there's other version of the thing, because we have the server attributes there. Looks like it doesn't. We'll trust it. We'll trust it. Alright, so what it does. It goes through each of the lobby player. And then we're gonna spawn things. Work server spawn with client authority. The object to spawn and the connection. Oh, it's the player. That's convenient. We don't need to figure out the connection of players, so that's good. Can we look it up? Spawn with client authority. It also has this signature too. But of course we prefer this one, so we don't have to figure that out. Spawn with client authority. Like player object doesn't mean the lobby player or the game objects, not the map player. It doesn't say it. Let's pass the lobby player and see what happened. So first the object to spawn. let's make sure the naming is exactly what we wanted and it makes sense. Looks like it's asking for the actual game player, or maybe just give it this. Does the lobby player has a network identity? I'm wondering, or does it matter? Maybe it doesn't have to. It does. Okay, cool. Let's hope that this works. So what happened when let's change the script name to, so this script will just identify the local player. It won't do anything else. Identify local clients. So if it's path authority, then it will mark a sprite as blue, let's say. Color equals to blue. Let's be elaborate. And then change the script name. This will be one of the debug thing. Yep. So whenever you have this script, it will check if this. Right. Anyway. Where do we put the, yeah, here. Client match. We're gonna give it a sprites. Using a circle. Gonna give it a white color. So when the game transitions to the map, this server objects will spawn this. It will spawn one of the local client authority thing to every player exists in a scene. And then when the say there are three players connected, there will be three of the objects spawn. There will be three of the objects spawn here. 3 of this spawn in the scene, and only 1 of them is painted blue. That's what we expected guys to see. We're gonna start with 2 clients. Connect. It doesn't seem to spawn the objects. That's strange. Also, where's the server objects? The matching info thing. Looks like it didn't. Yeah, this didn't get carried through for some reason. We're gonna make sure it does. So what happened here? Why did I remember it was here. Don't destroy and load this for sure. I remember I wrote this, but for some reason I deleted it. I don't know. Let's make sure that it get carried through. Yeah, there you go. Let's compile this. We're gonna play this Unity editor as one of the clients, so that we know that we will have our own blue circle. This will be a server dedicated. Where's the other clients? Does it get? Do we get a spawn? No. This is a little odd, as we don't see this thing spawn. I believe we have it as one of the spawnable. Yeah, it does. And it's either this didn't happen. I believe the scene is changed. This should work. Already work on the lobby manager. So I'm guessing it's either It has something to do with attributes because we're invoking this method via the Unity events. Let's make sure that this happens. Oh, this will happen on the server. Oh, no. Oh, what am I doing? Spawn client view. So in the events that doesn't spawn, oh, why did I close the Visual Studio? If we got the message that it was spawned, then the attribute itself works okay. Unassigned reference. Oh, okay, alright. Another minor mistakes. Yeah, don't yell at me. So it worked, but it just we forgot to link it. Hello? So prefab, match clients. Right. Hmm? Does it have objects now? No. Again, it doesn't have the objects. Now what is it? Do we forget something else again? Network connection is not ready. Oh. I figure because hold on, let me remove the ghost scene. So what this thing have is it invokes the Unity events. Let me make sure it's recording. Invokes the Unity events when the network server isn't ready, and it's already starting to ask to spawn objects. Hmm. Can I do it so the match manager itself does it? Maybe I'm overcomplicating things. So what I know, it could just do this here. You don't have to use the scene thing. Oh wait, no. It should start there. Okay, so one of the options, because this object lives across the lobby scene and the map scene, so it doesn't know when is the start function, for when is the first frame where the network server is ready. What we could do is here when, let's say, is there a function that called on scene transition to the game? Scene changed. No, it doesn't. So now the object that lives across lobby and map scene will know the first frame of. Another thing we could do is that during the map scene, we do that. Probably don't need these. Let's organize our stuff a little bit. And this is what later I want to make server logic. Call won't start. Won't start. Is that we fully entrust the map scene has all those required objects in order for a match to function properly. Now can we migrate the methods over? Sure. Let's make this a server only. And then we're gonna write a script called spawn local client let's create that. One way to do that is here. The simplest way is to just rely on this thing to do it. But what I'm thinking, probably, actually never mind. Yeah, spawn local clients, that's fine. Right. I don't want to think too much over what could be behavior. Prefab local clients. So on the start, the server is definitely ready. We don't need updates. Once you spawn it, you can destroy yourself. Or network, server, destroy, game objects. Let's remove this entirely. Just gonna do a little organizing, gun dummy, and we'll keep one of those. That's enough. Spawn points, ground set clear color. So this will call on the server at the time where the network server should be ready. Let's test this. We're still not seeing the objects. It's not ready. When is it ready though? Still a little debugging. It says network connection is not ready, but it says this one. Implying at the start method, at the start, the first frame, this connection is not established. So what they're doing, they prompt the player objects to send commands to a server, and then the server responded with, okay, now you can have an object like this. But I'll try not to write any code on the player, because I believe that should be a server thing, server responsibility. he delayed the spawning. We could do something like that. Due to our match scene will have a freeze rounds anyway. But since we haven't set that up, I don't want to do that first and then do this. Perhaps I could write it here. Should I though? This class already has a bunch of things. Another way to do this is during the updates. I think the network server should be ready, just that the connection wasn't ready. Oh, no. What we could do, we'll try to let's make sure that this is the one that we're looking for. What it said it was not ready, so let's see. Right now it should appear every clients are not ready. Now we're going to run this as a dedicated server, and here as the local. We're going to switch the error message out. Alright, it goes. Okay, false, as expected. Now we're gonna do the updates. And we're gonna also use Unity events to whoever is concerning if the local clients is spawned for everyone events. Because something may concern with the time when that happened. Okay. And now we're going to check every single one. And lobby player is ready. Connection to client is ready. Only when it's ready, then you do that. Hold on. Already? No. True. And if anyone is not ready, if it's ready, it does this. Instantiate this client thing. It's not ready, and already. Wait. What this will do is it will create one of those every frame. Let's make let's create a little hash map signifying if each one has spawned already. Maybe you could just use an array. And when you start it, Boolean, how many? Only if it's not null and it's not ready. We're gonna postpone this. Already did it get spawned? Oh, then we will need the implementations. Alright. Integer less than total number of slots I equal plus lobby player equals to I. Then we have the I set to true. Actually, we'll just leave it as is. Only if it's not null. We set it to false. Previously spawn, then so for first frame, although the update doesn't include the first frame, so if it's all not ready, we need to set this to false. Has spawned? No, none of them has spawned. But if it's a null, we just set it to true because it should be ignored. So it's all false. It'll go through every player, and if it's a null, then it should examine it further. If it's if it's not null, for example, further. If it's a null, then it says true. That means ignore this slot. And when you examine that, you check if it has previously spawned. And if it's not previously spawned, just ordering to make sense of it. So if it's ready and it has not been previously spawned, then you spawn a new one. If it's oh wait, I should put the previous spawn here. Or you could go through this branch. So it's ready. Okay, and now should you spawn it? And if you haven't spawned, then you spawn it. Then when you spawn it, you turn that to true. So in the future, you won't spawn it anymore. And if otherwise, if it's not ready, you say this is false, and already is false. So if anyone who has who is not ready, client ready, ignore. If it's not ready, then this set it to false. If everyone's ready, if everyone is ready, then destroy this. Actually, network server, destroy game objects. And it'll be like that. We don't need this no more. And when you're ready, before you destroy it, call this function. Events, cleanup. Okay, it should work magically. Let's hope so. Finger crossed. And what? Well, the local object is set is spawn, but we're seeing it's set to a server where the locals isn't. And we have seen this box with, I believe it's a ghost it's a ghost script code, because we changed the name already. Yeah, okay, a few things to check. Add a script. Okay, maybe it has something to do with this. We're gonna deal with the Oh, it's not a ghost script. It's oh, okay. We need to set a flag. All right, that's easy fix. So this start with white on the server, but it should keep updating until it becomes a client authoritative. We're gonna run the Unity as a dedicated server. Okay, now we're seeing the right thing to happen. On the server, it's white because the server doesn't have control over the object. But on the client, it sees the blue because magic. We're gonna run 2 clients, so make sure with the Unity being one of the clients and desktop app as one of the other clients. Okay, so this part, I'll move the sprites a little bit so we could see that one of them is white and the other one is blue. Yep, that's correct. So the blue one, well, we can't see a difference from here, but one of the white one is for the red, and the blue one is for us, basically. And this is working. Congratulations. Now we have the object now, and we're going to do the damage reports from the clients to the server via this object. Okay, let's. Now we're gonna test if we can send commands to a server via the objects. Before we do, let's this object here. Let's write a script called damage reports, or we can just generically call a local client local match. Couldn't figure out a better name, but we'll do this. This will be a network behavior. Now we're gonna send a command. I'm gonna just send a dummy remote action called oh, before we do this, let's make a singleton. So we don't have to refer to the instance of this. If has authority, singleton equals to this. This mate is a static function. Report damage. Off network. Yeah, help network. This is the victim. We have the one who shot. It's a shooter. Attacker. Singleton. Command dummy action. And then on the server, we will call damage reported. Now let's call this damage report. With these. Oh, you need to pass the game object because that can be figured out. And then in the bullets, if it hits someone, I'm thinking about moving all these methods over to the client local. But let's do this first. Report damage. Since all the effects and the damage reports are networked, so why don't we send it to a single portal, a single view? Damage. Copy damage. Let's not bother with the naming too much. Alright. Now it hits someone. If the singleton is null, we're gonna do warning. It shouldn't be, right? Oh. Debug warning client local match missing. And clients local match damage. Okay, so let's say 100 damage. Victim null, attack null, whatever. We don't concern with it too much, so now. Or we could just do that. And let's not worry about this yet. Damage. Let's report damage only. So if the bullets hit someone, it's gonna report damage. Let's give bullet damage. So on the server, when we hit someone, the server should print out damage reported, and the damage of the gun should be is this ever used? Oh yeah, it is. Damage of the gun should be 100. So it should print on the server when we hit someone. No matter it's a wall or something, it should report damage reported is 100, and yep. Let's see. Okay. Damage reported, cool. Another one printed up. perfect. Although there's no effects on the server, but yeah, so this one works. And hit detection, and it works. Perfect. Although we haven't really damaged the health, but we did the hit detection. And I'm thinking ending it here. And for our next session, before we lose our train of thoughts, and we'll be doing bullets actually damage victim, not wall. And let's see if we could migrate some of these over to the local match, because I feel like something shouldn't be here. For example, the shield effects. It shouldn't be belong to the inventory. Guns and network thing, isn't it? No, it's not. Yeah, I'm thinking about migrating this entirely. And if that's the case, shoot the effects. Should this be, because here we have a static. I'm thinking maybe we should like shoot client local match. Like, can we integrate all this method and command and RPC over to this? Wait, it doesn't have RPC, does it? So if this is a AI which exists on the server, the server doesn't have its own local match or this. Yeah, let's keep these here. Because this is only for when the client, the local client, is communicating with a server. But those are not. As you can see, we're calling this function only when the local bullets hit someone, and not when others done it. But in this case, if it's a server, hold on. If this bullet says a server, then this will also do this, huh? Clients. If it's a server, then it doesn't do anything. Yet. Yeah, maybe we should migrate this methods use item and see if that works. So this would be a static use item who uses who. Maybe not that far back. Maybe from here on out. Not a use item. We do shoot guns. Like that. Do we delete any extra stuff? No. Okay, we need these three parameters on top of public static void shoot gun. So first of all, we should have authority, which already did. We already do. Copy and paste. Whoever had requested it, you will shoot gun. What kind of gun is it? Gun. Hold on, the server doesn't have one of those things. That could be a problem. It's calling this, but the server doesn't have the object here. So for consisting of things, so the bullet wouldn't know if it's a server or a client, and it would depend on this thing to analyze it. For the same logic, we should follow Am I over-engineering things again? Because if the server may not need, server doesn't need the local authority, and if we want to add server in, that's purely for consistency of method calling. Yeah, let's do that. Let's give a server a copy of those two. MHC spawn local clients. But then again, if that happened, then the local authority flag shouldn't be checked because this is not server. Server doesn't count as a local player. Huh, that's very handful. Design does take some time to really figure out here. Also, what happened when the bullets hit? We're kind of in the design problem here because the projectile doesn't know about this. So the clients let me take some time to think about this, and while as I'm finishing my lunch. All right, I'll come back later. Hey, welcome back. I just finished my lunch and the rest of the things, and we're back to the projects. So, I've been thinking about this, and yeah, I'm thinking about adding the server. I mean, adding one of those, the client local match, to a server side as well, so that whatever remote action that need to be called, that may or may not have something to do with the player objects, will be called through this view, what I call a view. But I'll probably rename this to a remote action instead. I'm gonna do that right now. Remote action. So it has a better name. So it's not necessarily a client object. Server will have that too. So over here, we're gonna rename this too. Remote actions. I will match scene. Rename this to spawn remote action. Need to open it again. And then here, server will get a copy of this as well. Authoritative. Is it authoritative or authoritative? Let me quickly look up the English. Authoritative. Yeah, authoritative. So my original spelling is correct. And this will just get spawned. And because it doesn't need a connection, so we'll just spawn this over. Network server spawn. I need to be pre-made before it spawn. And hopefully the server will preserve the local flag, if that makes sense. We're back to here, and so this remains the same. This will not the bullets will not care if this is server or not. So it's gonna leave it to remote action to figure it out. And once it come over here, if it's a client, then it does this, report damage. And server, well, for now we don't broadcast anything to other clients. We're just gonna take the damage and print out the message. As for the shooting gun, what we're gonna do is that the gun will shoot with all the information that's needed. This client, then it's gonna command shoot. Singleton document shoot. How come this doesn't? Oh yeah, those also has it. Singleton. Let's make a Unity engine. We're gonna add the search statements. Current item. Gun objects. Get components to gun. Let's remove all this assert for now. And we're gonna focus on logic. Oopsie. One second. Okay. Alright. Shoot gun. What was this? Okay. Gun. Game objects. Looks like it's working, and we'll go over to here. Remote action. Shoot gun. With these, do we need this? I don't think so. We'll pass a gun over. Comment these out. So when the local player or AI uses the item, it has to have authority. So all these functions, the hit damage, are called from local. Whoever has authority. Compositions of remote methods called by local authoritative player objects. Example being bullet, local bullet, hitting and damaging victim, or gun shooting effect. So then this side, it won't need these commands anymore. These will still be here because it's closely related to inventory system. The equip and decrypt, that should belong to inventory. So and when the local player called this use item, it will call the remote actions shoot gun with all these parameters that's needed, and the remote action will communicate with server and clients and basically synchronize over the network. And the bullets here does the same thing. Although the bullet itself is not network behavior, but when it's spawned, it has the setting that said is this a local. Actually, I'm gonna rename this just for consistency. Is authoritative. Yeah, it's authoritative. And then it will call the remote actions. And passing along the damage, the victim, and the attacker. So before anyone call the methods here, it should make sure that whoever is calling this method is a local authoritative. Same this one too. And I'm sure there will be the Unity inspector. The link may be broken somewhere. I need to check them. let's see here. Client match. Remote action is still here. Nothing to link. And in the scene, sure, this is broken. No, okay, that's cool. Nothing was broken. It all remains connected. And well, if nothing, so what we'll be seeing is first, when we start the map, the server will also has its own local versions of the client match. Let's call this. Let's rename this as well. Called. Actually, what is it called? Remote actions. Yep. Action. To sum it up, what this will do. Hold on, give me a sec. What this will do is the server. It works for both server and the client, and it's the middleman between the different clients on the network. And it should be invoked. It should be communicated via only the local authoritative objects. And yep, logic match. See, no, that's different. All right. Let's test this with one player first. No error. That's correctly called. However, we see 2 being called. And why is that? Also, where's the other? Oh yeah, the damage doesn't call yet because we don't have a target. But yeah, so for the remote action, there should be one that is blue and the others, and it didn't happen. So 2 problem. Whenever we shot at bullets, it should only get 1, but we get 2 invoked. And second, we don't have a server authoritative remote actions. Can we set this server remote action get components identity, and we set the this. What, this is different. We set this to false. So it appears both on the server and the client. Not sure if this will work, but here it is. Let's go to the bugs. Let's list out all the bugs before we forget about it. Server, remote action, not local. And then we have the command damage called twice per shot. Let's look into this first. So this got printed twice. On the server when it was called. So there's two theory. Actually, it's just one theory. So this is called twice because there are two bullets generated. When we press the button, the user will call this shoot gun, which locally will shoot a gun, and then command. Oh, yeah, because here it should say has authority instead of local player, because this will always be false, as the remote action is not a player object. So that could be a fix. Let's call it a fixed. Let's see if the local player is still there. No. Okay. Cool. And the server now. The other problem, remote action. We just set the flag to false and see if that works. Okay, let's print it out, one shot per command. That's good. Let's check out the remote action. One should be blue, the other one should be white. Yep, we got it. Let's check the other way around. With the Unity being the client and desktop being the server. Also need additional one just to make sure that everything works as intended. Now we're controlling the red. Let's print it out that much. So it works. Let's see, there should be 3 remote action, only 1 should be blue. Yep, we got it. That was perfect. Just a quick thing, I forgot the previous test, was it the Unity being the server, or was it the... Let's remove the ghost scene. Like, why is it there? Let's do 2 clients next time. Connect. We're a blue player. Interesting. Why is it printed twice again? Let's check the objects. 1 should be blue. We already got 1 blue. The others are, yep. Awesome. But the problem remains, why does it got called twice? And it was incremented too. It's probably network lag. What if the red player go pick it up? It's also called twice. So, how comes that happen? So when you call this, it'll only get calls once with a shoe gun. Now we'll go to here. And when this is shot, you basically shoot a gun. So this occurs locally. And then the RPC shoots, has authority. If it's a local player, then ignore it. Oh wait, we're talking about different things here. We're talking about hit damage. So this being the client, report the damage, but this only get called once. Oh yeah, that shouldn't solve the issues. So if this got called twice, then maybe it's because the bullets hit it twice, but then it's not dead, then it proceeds. So if it hits something, we'll send this remote action over. Alright, one thing to check is, one way to check it, we're gonna make sure that's only one bullet's being spawned. We don't need direction to print out directions, don't need the travels. Yeah. So either this bullet caught twice, then it will causes this to be called twice. We're gonna make sure of that. This will be a deck. Oops, no. Okay, so technically it should be called once, and it did only call once. Then how comes it get called twice? It says report damage, so one was invoked. As you can see here, there's only one bullet. So if the client says, hey, we need to spawn one bullet, why would the server print out twice? If the bullets does that, and from the client side, from the rest side, it will go through all the way here and command report damage, and this will relay to a server and then report the damage. But why does it go invoke twice? Another reason why I think that might happen is when the gun shoots it. You may not necessarily spawn two bullets on the on the rest side. Actually, it's the blue side, whoever's holding the gun. Yeah, I'm the red side, so I'm holding a gun and I shoot the bullets. So that bullet branch off to two clients. The other clients. Where is that? Okay. So when I shoot a gun. And then I will tell everyone I need to make sure that this is invoked only once before I can conclude that. So another theory I had is when the RPC relates to the other clients and is mistakenly thinking that bullet has authority, and when that hits something, it also relates to the server. And that's why the server has two commands being called instead of one. Now, I'm the blue. If I press the button, if I pick up a gun and I shoot, I should see one command shoot. One shoot, no problem. Now if you pass it to a red, you see, when the desktop app shoots a bullet, the red player shoots a bullet, it also hits something, which means the bullet was created as authoritative on the non-local player, which was a problem. Oh yeah, we never got to use the is authoritative. That's why. No wonder. We set a value, but we never get to use it. That's why. Oh. Travel. It's only if authoritative, then we invoke this remote action. Okay, there we go. Otherwise, it just go through a motion, go through effects, and not do any damage at all. Now it should work. It's built. This is fixed. So one shot per report, damage report. We're controlling the red. Shot one command, one remote action. That's perfect. Wonderful. And now let's try the Unity being on the client. Yeah, I don't see what we're testing here. 3 remote action, 1 blue, the other whites. Cool. We'll do a little organizing here. We don't like spawn all the way, forming a long list of objects. Yeah, but we're done here. Authoritative heat detection. It's all good. Let's do a little cleanup and we'll call it a day. Now we can finally remove this chunk. It felt out of place anyway. Item base, we don't need to look into it. Effects, no. Yeah, hopefully we won't like forget about this thing. It's authoritative. Actually, why not just rename this has authority just to keep it like consistent and has authority, not authoritative. Since this is a model behavior anyway, we're not overriding anything. Has authority, and when this got initialized, let's write some comments. Damage of gun. Bullet speed. Actually, bullet damage. If true, bullets send report damage when hit. Enemy mask. What objects? Let's call this damage. Oh, actually. Mask. The damage mask. Who shot the bullets? Receive kills if the bullet killed someone. I think it's pretty intuitive anyway. See what we could comments on here. Initialize bullet. Okay, what are we doing here? User, let's do this. We're done. So if it's true, then this is also true. It's original false. All right. Initialize bullets. Okay. Looks pretty clean to me. Remote actions. There's nothing here. Spawn actions. It's like one-time script, so don't need any extension or features. Yeah, I'll leave it as is, and we will catch up on the next session where we do the bullets actually damaging the victim as well as maybe some effects too. Well, effects comes later. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode.